The fact that I have to waste my time and yours making videos like this just shows what a really sad state of affairs we have here in the Sebastian Rogers case. Yet here we are. Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Monday morning the 30th of December. So this came to my attention because Nonsense covered it. EvilleCJ makes false claims on Michelle After Dark. Let's discuss the facts and timeline. An easy debunk. Yes, it is. Because it appears that CJ made a video, there he is, about something that happened back in April. So it's taken him all this time to bring this to YouTube because it's been such an important and devastating event for him. Yeah, okay. So if you didn't see this video and you didn't see CJ's video, Michelle After Misinformed More, is that it? Is that the one? Yeah, this is the one. So what happened? Well, we need to backtrack a little bit here before we understand exactly what is going on. Back in March, CJ joined Brothers Underwater Recovery and Narked Divers, and I don't know if there was anyone else there. All of these people, including CJ, were new to me at the time. I'd never seen any of their content before, but they were there at the construction site searching for Sebastian Rogers. A little bit after that, maybe, I don't know, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, after that, it came to light that the guy from Brothers Underwater Recovery was an RSO. So I made a video about it, as did several other people. This was that video. It was posted on April the 23rd. A registered SO searched for Sebastian Rogers and other concerning things you should know. So I showed a clip of Narked Divers talking about how upset he was, that he didn't know that Brothers Underwater Recovery was an RSO. I had this clip of Narked Divers walking the retention pond. This is the retention pond that Max, the German Shepherd, and then several other dogs, a bloodhound, a blue-tick coonhound, and another dog whose breed I've not been able to identify. So I'd like to know what breed that dog was, but hey. Because Max and the other dogs led law enforcement to the retention pond, they drained it. And then they walked it, because there's like thick mud at the bottom. This is Narked Divers, back in March, who was also walking this pond, and he was picking things out, nothing that related to Sebastian. This is what I said here. 3, 4 weekends ago now, Trey was out there walking the retention pond that had been drained by law enforcement, but he wanted to rewalk it. They did another retention pond. Trey did all that work, and sat on the bank was the guy from Brothers Underwater Recovery. So you can see here that the screen is blurred. So I said, sat on the bank here is the guy from Brothers Underwater Recovery. There was a few people sat on that bank. Unbeknownst to me at the time, right, this is not me filming this. I wasn't in Tennessee. It just so happened that on the bank was CJ sat with Brothers Underwater Recovery. So CJ became aware that I'd made this video, and he sent me an email. You have falsely reported me as part of Brothers Underwater Recovery in your clip when it shows me and helping the search efforts of Trey. I am my own search crew who have been out here for the last month and a half. I was assisting those individuals, blah, 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 blah. All right, please make sure you represent people in the correct light when discussing this topic. Please correct the video. Thanks for your cooperation. All right, so I went back and had a look at what this was about because I didn't know what CJ looked like at this point. I'd never come across his content. It was a very, very quick pan over. Was the guy there? A very quick pan. It's literally a couple of seconds, and in that clip was CJ. So he was concerned that people would align him with Brothers Underwater Recovery, who is an RSO. So understandably concerned. So listen to what he says here. This is his video from yesterday that Nonsense debunked.
CJ just showed video last night showing 2 vehicles at the same time period.
Not just.
And there wasn't that truck. So what we do know is that there was other vehicles that weren't there on that date. Look at the difference. And yeah, I know, you see the cross right here.
Oh my God, look at the saturation difference. Oh my. Look at the cleanup of the image. Oh my. Crazy. And what is this supposed to prove to begin with? Oh, they're trying to prove that Chris was there on the 23rd because of some stupid rumor about a fucking poker game that Terry Lynn started. Okay, gotcha.
I know, you guys, I know.
You people
but
are
I'm trying. Listen, look.
Not you guys in the comment section. You guys know what I'm talking about. But CJ, you're a fucking idiot, okay? An idiot.
To light Google, there is a huge difference. This is all important with what I'm going to show you here in a second.
This is CJ trying to debunk me. This is the so-called satellite image that AtNight Private Intelligence supposedly has attained from Vexel. Originally, they said it was Albedo. It was found out by me, by a simple Google search, that Albedo didn't have any satellites up in the sky yet. So they tried it again. Same image, and said this time it was from Vexel, who also does not have satellites in the air. Right? They take aerial shots of things like disasters and stuff like that. So CJ is trying to debunk me, saying that this wasn't a satellite image, because it wasn't. It wasn't a satellite image. And I said you could get this image off Google. I didn't say that's where AtNight had got it from. This could be a drone image. This could be an aerial shot. What I absolutely know is it's not a satellite image. There's no timestamp on this photo. So he's trying to debunk me, but he brings up what happened in April. It's all very silly.
Some of the worst kind of misinformation another content creator can put out. She has already done that. Michelle After Dark.
Again, back to the email. See? He is trying to discredit her by lying on her. This ain't gonna work out well for you, CJ.
Not gonna work out well for you, CJ, because I never mentioned CJ in my RSO video. Why? Because I didn't know who CJ was at the time. The video was about Brothers Underwater Recovery. It was just unfortunate that CJ was sat on the bank. And he was concerned he was going to get associated with them, which I understood. This is what I said. I went and investigated it, because I didn't know what it was on about at first. I said, on April 25th, I am sorry you're getting threats. That's out of order. It was never my intention to create a backlash to anyone who was out searching for Sebastian. I blurred out everyone on the bank in my video. I also made another video the day after explaining that correction. I genuinely didn't know it was you on the bank, and I hope that the people threatening you realise I never intended to associate you with Brothers Underwater Recovery. Feel free to share this email on your platform if you think it will help. So I don't know whether he did or not. Anyway, one of my mods said you are discussing the topic. Other creators created more damage, and that's why I needed to post the video. This is back in April. Your video just put more gas on the fire that was already burning. I don't want you to think that it was your video that started it all. I just wanted to let you know. Thank you for the support and correction. So he's recognised that I corrected any potential misinformation or misidentification that could come from my video and me saying Brothers Underwater Recovery. Never mention CJ. Never mention CJ. So here's the correction video that I made. This is April 24th here. So on April 25th, I emailed CJ to say I'd made that correction, which I did. All right, here we go. Listen. In the second portion of yesterday's video, I showed a few seconds of narc divers, Trey, searching the retention pond, like walking that retention pond. It's near the construction site. And it pans over to about 3 or 4 people sitting on the bank. I said, this is Brothers Underwater Recovery, or words to that effect. And the camera, obviously not my camera, whoever was filming it, pans over. So someone called CJ contacted me and said, can I please fix the fact that it was him on the bank and not Brothers Underwater Recovery. So I have blurred out those people on the bank. I think that's the only time it shows someone else who could be confused with Brothers Underwater Recovery. So I've blurred it out. It does take a couple of hours for it to kind of show the new version on YouTube, but hopefully by the time this video uploads, that will have been done. So apologies to CJ for any distress that might have caused. I understand it's a very delicate subject, difficult subject. I don't like making videos like that, but everything has to be out there, and there you go. All right, let's move on. Nick Barris from... Yeah, let's move on. CJ, thanked me for my support and the correction, and that was that. Not spoken to CJ since. Occasionally dipped into his content. I've even said that I liked the content that he put out when he was there in March with Narc Divers. They showed some interesting footage. They were out there searching, and it was useful footage. They showed some open manholes that CJ was concerned about at the time. I share his concern about those open manholes. Anyhow, April. So how many months? May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 8 months later, he decides to bring up the email. And it's actually a pretty good job that I don't mind my full legal name being out there, isn't it? Or else, maybe I could accuse you of doxing. But I don't mind my full legal name being out there because I've got nothing to hide. Is that the reason why you included these emails? No, I don't think so. However, just saying, 8 months down the line, yeah, it's a bit of a problem. Just because, you want to stay in with At Night and, you've got this little nugget of information. Wow. All right. Speaking of At Night, we've got more absolute complete dross from them. I'm not going to even read this. Public update on the cyber harassment amid the search for Sebastian Rogers. This cyber harassment is apparently from Reddit and people questioning Nick the Hat and his parole in Pennsylvania. At Night Private Intelligence is pleased to announce a significant breakthrough in the investigation into the coordinated hate campaign, people chatting on Reddit, targeting our employees, affiliates and partners. So Nick the Hat, basically. Thanks, yeah, whatever. Okay, cool. And absolutely pitiful, I tell you. Within the next 72 hours, At Night will commence disseminating substantial information regarding the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. This information will be presented without any redactions, ensuring maximum transparency for the public's participation in discussions, debates and opinions. To enhance the effectiveness of this 5-day social media campaign, we are collaborating with additional intelligence community contractors. During this period, we will expedite the release of material to combat misinformation and distinguish between facts and fiction. Look, if you really had substantial information regarding the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, should you bring it to? Put a 1 or a 2 in the comments here. So 1, should you bring it to social media to dissect? Or 2, should you send that information to law enforcement? I'll give you the answer. It's 2. You should give it to law enforcement. If you happen to have found information pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers that is that important, that substantial, that it could lead to Sebastian's discovery or it could lead to whatever happened to him, where should that go? It should go to law enforcement, not to social media. The very fact that you're planning to bring all this to social media for discussion, debate and opinion leads me to the very obvious conclusion that you are not a legitimate agency. You are not a legitimate private intelligence agency. You would never put that information out in public. If it's seriously pointed to crime and people are arrested, don't you think that a defence attorney would have an absolute field day with all of that coming out on social media? Absolutely they would. You would demolish any hope of a criminal conviction. You would demolish it, let alone any safety to Sebastian. Because if Sebastian was alive and someone was holding him, knowing all this was going to come out, they might panic and end Sebastian's life. But I don't think that's going to happen, because I don't think you've actually got any valid information about where Sebastian is or any criminal element that there might be. Go and watch my video from yesterday. Every single law enforcement update in that live stream that I did yesterday evening my time. Go and watch it, please. Not gonna, because it's boring. Not drama. There you go. That's how ridiculous this case has become. And once again, I appeal to Seth Rogers to dissociate yourself from Tony Mathis, Dog the Bounty Hunter, At Night, Private Intelligence, Nick the Hat, and anyone else who is connected to this little shit show of reprobates. Seth Rogers, once again, I appeal to you. As a dad, as someone who clearly loves Sebastian, who is clearly grieving for Sebastian's disappearance, who is missing Sebastian terribly. I appeal to you as a dad, Seth, that what these guys are doing could potentially end Sebastian's life. And if there was a criminal element, it could very easily mean any criminal investigation that comes from it, it would ruin it. Absolutely ruin it. Seth, please, dissociate yourself from these absolute fools. All right, I'm done. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Tilly. Go, Tills.